Good morning to everybody. I'm really glad you could join us today, and welcome to today's Chamber Connect is Gaining Consumer Confidence with the Better Business Bureau and the YMCA. So very happy to have our guests here with us today. I'm Nora Harden. I'm the Senior VP of Membership and Events with the Chamber and EDC. And today's Chamber Connect, we're going to try to wrap this up today by about 12:30. But we really encourage engagement. We want this to be interactive, so ask questions, and if the Q&A takes us over a little bit, well, it will. So we'll do our best to close out at 12:30, but we want to get to those questions. So I had some really good news to share, if those of you who already know this maybe, but our local unemployment has, the jobless rate has dropped down to 9.9% for May, which is down from 12.6% in April. So we will take any of that good news, right? At this point, any of that good news. That's great. 9.9 down from 12.6. So here we go. Today, we are lucky to have Better Business Bureau of Southern Colorado CEO Jonathan Liebert and the COO of the YMCA of the Pikes Peak region, Jeff Peterson. Jonathan and Jeff are going to take us through some steps they recommend to gaining the consumer confidence you need to recover your business. And really, this is so critical to our recovery. I can't wait to dig into this and hear from Jonathan and Jeff. Okay, so you can use your Zoom chat feature to post your questions. You can either send them to everyone or you can send them to Emma, and Emma can coordinate the questions and answer them in the order that they're received. We are recording today's session and we'll make it available to the public within the next few days. In the interest of keeping people connected, we love to have everybody kind of rename themselves. So if you click on those three little dots in your image panel, select rename and put your full name and your business name. That helps us identify you. We will do a door prize winner, so that helps us identify who the winner is too. So that would be awesome. Our next Chamber Connect is July the 16th, and it will be a legislative update with our own Rachel Beck. She is our VP of Government Affairs. She's going to be speaking about the legislative work we've done during this session, this crazy session, to ensure pro-business legislation is front and center of our advocacy efforts. You can rest assured that Rachel, along with our Government Affairs Council, our board, our lobbyists, we're all working for you and your business. And thank you to you for your membership, because your membership supports that work. We can't do that work without you. I hope you all saw the newsletter we sent out earlier this week that covered our guidance on holding events per the public health orders and the waivers. Stephanie just posted that link to the newsletter in the chat just in case you missed it. And I won't go into too much detail here. We know things are moving pretty fast on this event front. We're all pivoting. We're all trying to make it work for us. Each individual organization's got their own take, their own due diligence on how they're going to approach events. So this newsletter gives you an update on what we're doing. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions you have about our 2020 and into our 2021 event schedule. I'm happy to talk you through any of that. Okay, so moving on. It is always my pleasure to introduce our Chamber Connect sponsor, BBSI. Jenny Vinatieri is here to represent BBSI and has a few words to share with you. Jenny, over to you.
Thank you, Nora. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on this call. My name is Jenny Vinatieri. I'm with BBSI, as Nora had mentioned. We are a local, in-person, very collaborative resource to small to mid-sized businesses and owners. We offer services in workers' compensation. We are self-insured for workers' compensation. We do HR, payroll, workers' compensation, risk management, as well as talent acquisition. So if you have any pain points or questions around any of those areas, please feel free to just reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, or even meet with you via Zoom, and we can go from there. But thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it. Thanks, Nora.
You bet. Thank you, Jenny. We really appreciate your sponsorship, and we love to work with you and your team. Okay, now time for the presentation. Again, the topic today, gaining consumer confidence. You know, so many of our community leaders have stepped up to support the business community, and where the Chamber and EDC has been laser focused on working with El Paso County Health Department and the Governor's Office to be sure we're reopening quickly but safely. Others like the BBB are working to innovate around building consumer confidence. It's likely that consumer and consumption and spending will remain muted for some time yet, but one thing we can do to boost confidence with consumers is to take the Working Safer pledge with the Better Business Bureau. So I'm going to hand things over to Jonathan and Jeff to introduce themselves and to start the program. Jonathan?
Thank you, Nora, and thank you for having us today. This is an exciting program that we're getting ready to roll out, and so it's important for business owners to know what we're doing. And so, as Nora said, I'm Jonathan Liebert. I'm the CEO of the Better Business Bureau of Southern Colorado. I've been there now as 5 years in June, so time goes by fast, and there's definitely a lot of things to be talking about. We're all in some interesting times. And so Jeff and I are going to kind of co-present this. I'm going to do a couple of slides, and Jeff, if you don't mind just doing a quick introduction of yourself, and I'll do my screen share and get everything rolling.
Sounds good. Good morning, everyone. Jeff Peterson. I'm the Executive Vice President, COO for the YMCA, and just really glad to be here and learn with you, but also just excited about being a part of this. So I look forward to talking to you in a few minutes.
So here's how we're going to do this for the conversation today. I'm going to give an overview of the program that BBB is rolling out, and Jeff is going to give you really the perspective from a business owner and how this can be useful and helpful in you as consumers gain trust. And that's really what we're talking about today is just trust. Trust is more important than ever now in these strange times that we're in. And what we like to tell people is that you need to think of trust really as another form, another monetary form. And so, do you have the trust of consumers? They know that they can come back to you each time they can have, a good customer experience. Trust is another form of currency, is the best way to say it. And so, how much money do you have really kind of in your pocket as it relates to trust with consumers? But here's what's different now. Here's what we're hearing from consumers. And we've got about 2,100 accredited businesses right now. And, we have records on about, close to 40,000 businesses in Southern Colorado. So we hear from consumers and businesses alike. We work with both. But here's what we're hearing from consumers. We're hearing that consumers are asking businesses to, one, they want to make sure they kind of BBB.org to find businesses they can trust to do a job. But they're calling us literally every single day, asking us for information on what businesses are following these guidelines, these health guidelines. So trust for us kind of comes down to two key points right now. One is, are you going to do the job well? Are you going to do what you said that you are going to do? And the second piece is, while you're doing that work, are you going to be following, safe practices and making sure that your employees are safe? Because that means that I'm going to be safe. And we're getting kind of some mixed reviews out there in our community. We've got businesses that are absolutely doing a phenomenal job. They're following these COVID guidelines. They're making sure they're doing great work for people. But we are hearing from consumers that there are other businesses that are not doing this, are not following guidelines, and they're very, very concerned about that. And so this was an area where we felt we could step in and to help. Our mission is to build marketplace trust between consumers and businesses. And so this is how we're going to do this. So we're going to roll out this BBB Working Safer pledge. This is a new program. So this week, for those of you who are accredited businesses with us, you should have received an email to take this pledge. And there are going to be another, we'll wait next week. We'll get more people as we add them to the website. And then we're going to roll this out publicly to consumers about a week from now. So here's what this means, and here's how this works. So this logo that you see right there is the logo that's going to be showing up on your BBB profile. Because what we want consumers to do is, as they're searching BBB.org, looking for businesses they can trust, we want to be able to show consumers that you are taking steps to make sure that your business and obviously the employees that work there are being safe, but also making sure that they're being safe for you, the consumer. And so develop this pledge campaign, and I'll kind of go into what are you pledging and how does it work here in a little bit. But this was really done in response to consumer questions. I had a conversation with folks over at the county, and a lot of consumers have asked El Paso County Public Health to do something like this, and they've said, well, we'd love to do that, but that's not really what we do, and we have no way to police or communicate this to the public. And this is the value that BBB.org has, is that this is what we do. We do put stuff out on the website. We do put things out there to let consumers know what businesses are doing and really make sure that we follow up and communicate this well to consumers. So
Jonathan,
right now, this is voluntary. I'm sorry.
Jonathan, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Your sound is kind of goofy. Can you mute and unmute yourself and see if that helps anything?
I sure can. All right, hopefully that will help a little bit. Is it a little bit better? Maybe we'll give it a try.
Yeah, we'll give it a try. And
Okay.
sorry if I have to interrupt again.
No,
it was just clicking. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But again, this is a voluntary program, and this is self-regulatory. So basically what that means is, the BBB will be looking for you to participate in this program and make sure that you're following the 5 guidelines that we've got up here, which I'll show you momentarily. But at the same time, we're also going to get information from consumers that will tell us, whether or not you're doing that. And so that's, again, our system's already built for that. We get feedback from consumers on a regular basis, and so we'll be able to get out of that. This is for accredited businesses only at this time, really because those are the organizations that we have vetted, that we trust, we know that are going to make sure they're going above and beyond to deliver customer service. But those are the ones we can also hold accountable. And I think that's important for this, is that when consumers have issues and they need to have businesses, that have a question or they want to address something, we can work directly with them because we have relationships built with them. And again, as I said, this is to build trust for consumers and to help increase consumer confidence that, 1, they're going to do that good job, and 2, they're going to make sure they've got your best interest, your family's best interest in mind from a health perspective. So for all of you that have your profiles on our website, this is just a sample shot, what you can see right now. So here's Berwick Electric. They have the old logo. So some of you were participating in this program that started in April and in March even. Before everybody was kind of back up and open, we had this logo up on our website, just letting consumers know that you were open. Obviously, this has changed. So this new logo that I showed you is going to replace that one. So what consumers are going to see when they log on to your profile will be a new badge that will pop up here. There will also be a microsite where they can search only for businesses that are in this program. And so if you're a consumer and just want to find out, any type of business that's following these safer guidelines, you can go to a new microsite that we developed to be able to get that information. So businesses will have access to 2 logos. The one on the left, the square one, as I mentioned, will be on your BBB profile page. If you opt in for this, and we'll also send you via email this other logo here, which says we took the pledge. And what we want to do is give businesses more opportunity to tell people that they're taking this seriously, the practice of safe behaviors, and this will let you market this program to people. So you can put this on your signature block, you can put this in social media, but again, we're encouraging businesses that participate in this program to tell everybody that you are, because consumers want to know if you're taking this seriously and if you're following these guidelines. So you'll have access to 2 of these. We're also working on some sample social media posts that you can use well. So we want to be able to give businesses a nice little toolkit of information, but also specifically different graphics and different logos. As everything's done virtually right now, and people are looking for you online, it's in on Facebook and social media. It's important that we feel it's important that you have another way to communicate to your customers, that you have something that looks a little bit different from what your competitors may have. So be proud, put it out there, and make sure you're letting consumers know you're doing this. So for you to participate, it's really pretty easy. You'll want to review the pledge checklist, and I'll get there on this next slide. And you want to submit your pledge online. So there's a microsite on our website. I'll show you how to get there here in a minute. And what you want to do is take the pledge. It's going to take you less than a minute. You can do everything online. You can email us, you can call us, however you want to do that. But we want to make sure you're getting recognized for the work that you're doing. In all honesty, when you see the list of things that we have in terms of what goes with the pledge, this is stuff that businesses should be doing already. It's nothing, out of this world. It's really kind of the basic stuff we've all been told to do. But again, because we're getting a lot of feedback from consumers that are telling us that there are a number of businesses that are not practicing these guidelines, I think it is important for you to get credit, because probably most of you are already doing this stuff anyways. And so we want to make sure that you're using that marketing potential to get that out there to your consumers. So this is the pledge. This is what you're signing up for. This is what you're agreeing to. You're agreeing to increase frequency of cleaning in your place of business. You are going to follow health guidelines on wearing a mask, and we're hearing things change around this every day. So following those guidelines, wearing a mask. Or if a customer asks you to wear a mask, if you're going to enter their home, wear a mask. Just customer service at this point. We're getting reports that there are businesses that refuse to wear masks in clients' homes, and obviously those clients are not going to hire that business to come in. So just be aware of that. So again, it's just good customer service for some of this stuff, regardless of what you think of this. It's become more of a politicized issue, but the way we look at it is just if a customer requests it, put one on. Just make it easy for them and for you. Implementing 6-foot distancing protocol, following that, monitoring employees for COVID-19 symptoms, and then just encouraging frequent hand washing and other types of sterilization practices for employees. That's it. So again, like I said, this is something that should be pretty straightforward and basic. People should be following already. Kaiser Permanente is our BBB accredited health expert on this. So again, BBB, we are not health experts. We monitor this, but at the same time, we're going to take the word of Kaiser of what makes the most sense from that perspective. So they are our partner on this. In the future, there'll be some good informational seminars that businesses will be able to attend that will just kind of give them some more information, give them some new business data that hopefully will help them in the future. So more to come on training and those types of things with Kaiser Permanente, but this is what you're essentially agreeing to on the pledge. So again, pretty basic, pretty straightforward, but you would be surprised at how many people that we've heard from, consumers, are not doing this. And so again, if you already are doing this, this should be a no-brainer. This is an additional marketing opportunity you have to tell consumers that you're practicing these guidelines. So where you're going to want to go for this is just bbb.org. And so I'm actually going to just click here on this link, and it's going to take me to BBB of Southern Colorado. And so this is what our main homepage looks like. And down here at the bottom, you'll see a COVID-19 Working Safer pledge site. You'll just click this link here. It will take you to this microsite, and it tells you what the information is. Here's the pledge checklist, and then take the pledge. You can click here at the bottom, or you can click here on the online form. We'll take your information down. We'll sign you up in the database. That's the trigger to change your logo as well. And that is also going to be our trigger to get you some email information out there on different logos you can use. So very, very simple, pretty easy to do, but we just want to make sure that businesses are aware of this, that they're taking advantage of this. And then again, as I said, we're going to have a lot of organizations that are going to help us do a major marketing push to consumers a week and a half from now. So the Chamber EDC is going to help push this out to membership. The City of Colorado Springs, El Paso County Department of Public Health, Kaiser Permanente, Downtown Business Association, Visit COS. We've got just a number of organizations that are ready to go and hitting that send button to all of their consumer base and their membership bases, letting them know to look for this logo. So you're going to see a pretty good push that's going to come from this community. And we want to make sure that businesses have a 2-week head start. They get everything set up and ready to go on their this week was the first week. We'll give businesses another week to sign up and get everything ready to go on the website and social media. But then after that, we're going to turn this over to consumers. And so we fully anticipate consumers asking businesses about this. So make sure you're informed, make sure you're aware of what this is. Again, pretty easy and straightforward in terms of how to enroll and how to use this. And some exciting thing as well, just to kind of share with the group, is this is something that BBB of Colorado Springs has created. And this is something that we briefed our national office on, and they're probably going to be rolling this out nationwide in about a month or maybe even less. So we're basically the first site to do this. We're going to be the pilot site that'll push this information out there, but go Colorado Springs, we'll be the first in the nation to do this. Other BBBs are hearing the same thing from consumers of just asking for help. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Peterson, and he'll talk about just kind of the perspective from where he sits in the community as somebody who's running a large business.
Thank you, Jonathan. You know, I'm really excited about this pledge because as all of you have been going through, we're learning so much, right? Every day we seem to be learning more and more. But when I was able to see this, and I am a board member on the BBB board, what I really liked about it is I'm all about community as an individual. I think this is a community effort to help build confidence and trust with our consumers, that, you know, we're all consumers, and us looking at where we want to go and stuff, making sure that they're providing, all of us are providing a safe and healthy environment, I think is very important. And I think this pledge truly helps with it. The future of health in our business is transforming before our eyes. The combination of chronic disease, social determinants of health, and communicable disease have become a central focus of humanity and are having a massive effect on our businesses. Getting food, medication, social interaction is a challenge for the masses. And in the midst of this, the chaos is the need to reopen our businesses. But it must be safe and healthy for both our employees and our customers. It must be a place that we can trust. The Harvard Business Review defines trust as our willingness to be vulnerable to the actions of others because we believe they have a good intentions and will behave well towards us. Trust is the link that binds everything together in our relationships, our actions, our expectations of others. We expect businesses to deliver on those promises and behave responsibly. We expect that we can live in our community safely, depend on our relationships, and rely on certain truths. As we reopen our businesses and continue to function in this new COVID-19 world, trust will be more critical than ever. The foundation of trust is built upon the basis that one needs are being met. In order to reinstate this among employees and customers and best position our companies to succeed in the long term, we must access the heart of trust as we disseminate critical information, maintain confidence, and contain illnesses. The pledge checklist has been designed to help invigorate demand, build trust, and consumer confidence. As Jonathan went over those, it's very important that I think that as an organization that's not a business owner, I'm not a business owner, but I am in charge of operations that serve 125,000 people. And it is something that I believe our consumers are looking for to build trust and to get them back in our doors. Implementing these 5 aspects will help ensure the health and safety of your business, will set you apart as a trusted, resilient leader in business. Doing so with vision and purpose and delivering it confidently, openly, and honestly, and with clear intent will assist in accelerating your business recovery and enable it to prosper and shape the future. I continue as a leader, continue to learn as a business that we're serving the community. And I think with us all working together, we can help provide a safer environment and hopefully keep these trends down and build that confidence and trust for our community. Thank you.
Any questions from this group then in terms of what the program is, how does it work, how you can kind of utilize the marketing logos, etc. I want to make sure people, you know, have some good information for them to be able to implement this if they feel that it fits for their business.
Jonathan, I got one question so far, and it is as follows. We have an office location generally not visited by the public. Our technicians do most work in people's homes, and we have taught them to show up wearing gloves and masks and keep them on unless the customer tells them they don't have to. I think we would be able to take the pledge, but wanted to verify.
Yes, that's a great question. And, you know, really the way it sounds like it's been described, especially if you have people entering homes, if you're already starting with your employees being masked up, gloves, then I think that's absolutely what we're looking for. And so I think the answer to the question of would you qualify, then yes, because obviously you're maintaining, you're watching, you know, obviously hopefully you're doing some type of thing to make sure when employees are not feeling well that they're not reporting to work and going into people's homes. But from what it sounds like in that case, that yes, you would be able to qualify for that and would be able to use the logo and take the pledge.
That's the only question we have. I do want to announce our raffle winner quickly. It's Arlene Alvarez, and Arlene, you've won a couple gift cards. So if you can send me your address privately, then I will send those to you. So congratulations. And Jonathan, go ahead with the rest of the presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this program, as I said, is pretty straightforward. And again, like I said, it's very, very easy to implement. And I would urge people to make sure that you take advantage of it, because again, we're going to have a lot of different people looking for this and asking about it. And so this is one of those situations where, because we've just had such a huge response from the community just asking for something like this, we anticipate to be a lot of use, not only from businesses, but also that consumers are going to be looking and checking. And again, that's why we wanted to make this more of a visual logo type program that individuals can use on their website. It's going to be helpful for people. The other thing I wanted to point out to businesses today here as well is that bbb.org has received a ridiculous amount of new business inquiries on the website. And so what does that mean? It just means that the online sessions of consumers using our website to find businesses they can trust, we're seeing record breaking numbers on the website usage. So the most we've seen in the last 5 to 6 years, and growing. So every month, it's just kind of month over month, it just keeps going up. So I want to make sure that everybody here knows that even if you're not accredited, you should be listed on the website. So if you're accredited, you can participate in this program. Send me an email, click on that link. If you're not accredited, that's okay. Make sure you're on the website. You don't have to be accredited to be on the website. People are using this business tool to find individuals. And so if you're not listed on bbb.org, people can't find you. So again, you just have to be a business that's been around for at least 6 months to participate. But we want to make sure that, businesses that are, just double check, make sure you're on there, because we've got a lot of consumers using our website to find businesses they can trust. So make sure you're listed on there. It's free. We can help set up your profile. But if you already are an accredited business, then make sure you're taking advantage of this logo program. It's going to be something that you'll probably hear a lot about. I heard yesterday from Denver that they're going to be launching the same program probably a week from now as well. Probably Northern Colorado will too. So this will probably be a statewide program here within the next couple of weeks. And then, as I mentioned, there's other BBBs that are going to be picking this up across North America. So I think you're going to be seeing a lot more of this around there. And again, this is where BBB is unique because we work with businesses and consumers. We can form this bridge to make sure that we're having that conversation. So that's typically not something that happens, all the time. And so we do work with both of those groups of folks. And so we want to make sure that we're bringing them together to develop this whole notion of marketplace trust and helping people find information that they need virtually. Because let's be honest, that's where people are looking. They're checking for everything online right now from the comfort of their home. And we want to make sure that we're bringing more value to consumers and also to businesses. The other thing I would just add too, since we've got this group together, is just there is an event coming up here at the end of July that BBB and SBDC are doing, and the Chamber and EDC are a sponsor. But we got Small Business Week coming up, and so Chamber and EDC, thank you for being a sponsor once again on that. That's coming here at the end of July, so July 27th through the 31st, and it's going to be a lot of good information on a lot of different subjects and topics, and make sure people get involved and check that out. It's going to be all virtual, but I think in these new times, there's a new way to do marketing. There's a new way to reach consumers and figure out how to do your sales. And so obviously EDC, Chamber and EDC just do phenomenal stuff every single week, as well as SBDC. But we've got a really good business community here. And we've got a lot of good business leaders. And so as long as people continue to work together and take advantage of these free services this year, the Small Business Week will be free. Make sure you're using that to grow your business, meet new people, and make sure you're connecting with people. It's more important than ever. And we've got some good resources here in town. So just thanks, Chamber and EDC, for what you guys are doing. We appreciate the work. Are there any other questions that I can answer for anybody about the pledge?
I'm not seeing anybody, but oh, here's one. For those of us who have never been to Small Business Week, can you give more information?
Absolutely. So Small Business Week is something that normally takes place in May. And obviously that didn't happen, right? Because that was right during the middle of some of this stuff. But this is something that takes place across the U.S. And Small Business Week is celebrated at the national level. It comes from SBA, Small Business Administration. And here's something that's interesting that we found out. We knew part of this story already, but we didn't know the rest of it. So we knew that the Colorado Springs version of Small Business Week is the largest in the state of Colorado. So we're actually bigger than what they do up in Denver, which is kind of awesome, right? And so we knew that for a couple of years. What we found out really kind of late last year is that the Small Business Week that we have here in Colorado Springs is one of the biggest and best in the nation. And so Small Business Week really consists of truly a full week of information, programs, and all those different types of things that really focus on, helping small business and micro businesses improve what they're doing. And so every year we start off with the food truck cook-off. We can't do that this year, obviously, because last year the food truck cook-off had about 3,000 people show up. So we can't gather a crowd that big. So we won't be able to do that. But what we'll be able to do this year is we're going to create a food truck guide. It's called License to Eat. And you will get a guidebook that will tell you about the food trucks that are participating in this. There's coupons, there's discounts, there's all kinds of good stuff in there that you can use throughout the rest of the year. But there's also a free meal that you can get in there. And so if you take that to any of those food trucks in there, they'll give you something for free. And so the idea behind the food truck to start off the week is just, what a great way to start a small business, right? Literally a restaurant on wheels. Our food truck scene has grown significantly. When we started the food truck cook-off 4 years ago, I think there was probably 10 licensed food trucks in the region. And now I think we're past 200. So our food truck scene is huge. There's a lot of good stuff. Support local business, right? Support those food trucks. And so that will kick off the week. Monday, we're going to do a session on digital marketing, how to market your business in these strange times that we're in. We're going to go and visit the new Olympic Museum. So we'll do a broadcast live from in the new museum. We'll actually do a virtual tour. You'll hear from the mayor. You'll hear from the CEO, to kind of let you know what the addition of that building is going to mean for our community. It's the third most anticipated building in the United States. And so they're almost done. They'll open up hopefully here pretty soon, but you'll get a behind the scenes tour. We're going to work with Kaiser Permanente and talk about how you can make sure that you're taking care of your health, not just physical, but also your mental health, your well-being, and that of your employees. And we're going to do a fun session that's called Laughter is the Best Medicine. So you hear from KP on the healthcare side, and then we're going to bring you a live comedy club from the new 3E's Comedy Club that's opening downtown. We're going to have a comedian that'll be live doing some fun stuff. So we'll have that, and then we'll have just a couple of other sessions that talk about how to support minority-owned businesses and how you as a consumer or as a minority-owned business can really make sure that you're taking advantage of things. And so we have a full week. And then we end the week with awards. These are the Small Business Awards for our community. And the person who wins the Small Business of the Year in our community will go on to compete at a larger state level. And then if they win that at a regional level and then potentially nationally. So the Small Business Administration is involved in this. We've got a lot of phenomenal sponsors. I mentioned the Chamber is one. And it's just really going to be, like, let's be honest, we need some education on how to change with the times and some resources, but we also need to celebrate some of these businesses. The finalists have been nominated. Those will be going out this week to the community. We've got some phenomenal finalists this year and some really cool businesses that are doing some great work. And so we want to honor small businesses. We want to provide, information and resources to them as well. So there's some really cool stuff going on with the week. You're going to see a lot of promotion hit this next week via social media and everything else. You'll see a lot more, but absolutely you can visit the website, Pikes Peak Region Small Business Week. There's some good stuff in there for everybody, for consumers and for small businesses.
Thanks, Jonathan. I think we're all looking forward to that, especially the food trucks. One question for Jeff while he's with us. Can you give us some more information about what the YMCA has looked like since the pandemic and how you guys are moving forward? I know you're taking the pledge. What does business look like for you right now and in the future?
Yeah, we actually have kind of developed really 5 phases, even though they've changed a little bit. We went into this kind of talking to colleagues throughout the country of kind of phasing in the different services that we provided. So we ended up opening up June 15th. We opened up 5 of our operations on limited hours. We started at going from 8 o'clock to basically 1:30, and then taking a break because we had to figure out the cleaning. We had to buy new equipment, electrostatic machines that disinfect and clean. We've had to increase cleaning drastically, and then also separating equipment with the 6 feet distancing. So it's been slower than we wanted. We are probably averaging 200 to 300 people at each location a day right now. We are adding more services as we move forward. We've been doing temperature checks when people come in the door. And then also, as I mentioned, cleaning just constantly on all flat surfaces, everything that's taking place. So it's been a big change for us. Of course, as you can imagine, it being a workout place, people are a little hesitant. And going back to the pledge of building trust and confidence, knowing that we are doing everything possible, working very closely with the health department. Our chief medical officer helped write the variants for gyms. So we have been very engaged for all the fitness in the community, and really putting those plans in place to help provide a safe environment. So we don't have all our locations opened yet. We're hoping to phase that in as we move forward, get more of the pools indoors open. We only have 2 currently, and then also continue to be able to offer more group X classes as we move forward. So our programs are the big ones that we're trying to figure out the best way to go. We are going to start running some programs, youth sports camps for kids here in the next few weeks, and then hopefully start some group swim lessons. But Learn and Play, we're doing enrichment programs. Our Learn and Plays is the free, basically, childcare that members can use while they work out. That is not approved through the health department yet, so non-licensed childcare is not approved, but we can run like enrichment programs where kids are participating in. So that's how we're working through that to make sure that members have a place to put their children while they work out. So we're learning every day, as we say. It's been challenging, just like all the businesses, of how you're having to relearn things and look at operating differently moving forward. And that's why I'm a big supporter of this pledge, because I think it helps drive consistency for all of us across the community and build that confidence and trust.
Can you tell us what 5 locations are open right now, and also how we can get up-to-date information about these different locations and services?
Sure. We have the Tri-Lakes location open, Briargate, Southeast, downtown, and First and Main. If you go to ppymca.org, it lays out everything from also doing reservations. We are doing reservations for the group exercise classes and the pools, so we can manage that for cleaning and those type of things. The wellness floor, they can come in anytime and work out with the hours that are posted on the website. But all our information is updated continuously every day on the website on what services are currently being utilized, but then also what we're adding in the future. So all the information is on ppymca.org.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah.
I actually have got a question to pick on a couple members of the audience. So this question, Al from House Doctors, if you're okay to speak, I will unmute you. The question is, you're very connected with the BBB, and you've been getting a lot of referrals, as you said in the chat. What kind of influence has your associating with the BBB done to your business with the awards and certifications? So if I'm going to make you co-host so you can speak, Al. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, I know we've been a member of the BBB since we opened up our doors back in 2016. So the programs and the stuff that they provide, and you know, the many different aspects of being a member of the BBB has just really been beneficial to the business. And I know when Jonathan was talking here earlier about the incredible uptick in people looking for businesses through the Better Business Bureau. That's true for us too. Normally, we maybe get 1 or 2 inquiries a month from us being members of BBB and people finding us. I'd say that's jumped up to probably 1 or 2 a week since the pandemic started. People are looking for businesses they can trust, and being part of the BBB is just that establishes that trust. You're concerned about the consumer and doing great service for them, just like they're concerned about finding a business that they can have confidence they're going to do the job. So it's a win-win. Always has been.
Wonderful. Thanks, Al, for sharing. Chris, from Front Range Insurance, you were also requested to give a little bit of information. Same question. I'm going to make you co-host so you can unmute yourself. Okay, should be able to.
Well, as I had stated, we're actually looking into accreditation now. We've gone through the process of applying for the SBA, and we were granted enough money to be able to make some decisions, and the BBB was one of our biggest decisions we wanted to make due to just how many of our clients request and look at information on BBB for everything. So even though we're not accredited now, we're looking into it very heavily, and I really appreciate this information.
Okay, well, we had some misinformation. Is anybody else, and thanks, Chris, for sharing. Does anybody else have a good testimonial to say about the BBB or the YMCA while we're on this call? If you want to raise your hand, I'll look through. Well, some people don't have their video on, so maybe they can't raise their hand. I don't think there's any more questions. Jonathan and Jeff, do you want to wrap up and give just another minute or so of a summary of what we talked about today? And thank you for your presentation.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks to everybody that's on the call today. I think what we're kind of learning and what we're seeing over here from our view of the world is that we've got 2 types of entrepreneurs that are out there in the community right now. And, there's the kind of entrepreneur that, is really just going to sit there and just really kind of lament the situation that we're currently in. And don't get me wrong, this is not fun for anybody. But we're also seeing another type of entrepreneur out there in the community where they are innovating, they are adapting, and they are doing whatever they can to pivot. And those entrepreneurs, which I think is really the true definition of an entrepreneur, are seeing some success. And so, it's kind of innovate or die is what's going on right now. That's what we're seeing. And we want to make sure that we're supporting that. I know the chamber is supporting those entrepreneurs. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we've got great business associations here in this town. We want to make sure that we're providing value to folks. But at the same time, I just urge everybody to think outside the box, ask for help, ask for advice, do some research. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on here, and, people got to move, they got to pivot. And so as much as you can adapt, as much as you can take advantages of, like the free program, I'm offering this right now. This is free, it doesn't cost anything. You just have to be accredited. Take advantage of those types of things just because everything's changing so quickly, so rapidly. But always remember too, that, you just got to think of this thing. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Trust is a new form of currency. If people don't trust you in this new age, you're not going to do well. And we can have a whole conversation just on what does trust mean. But pay attention to that and really kind of think of that. Trust is a form of currency. And you really got to make sure that you're going above and beyond as you normally would with customer service, but just that people trust you. You do what you say you're going to do. You follow up, you close the loop, you answer those complaints if you get them. You're just doing what you can to make sure you're building goodwill with your customer base and with your community. Jeff, any final thoughts from you?
Well, you stole them all, actually, but I agree 100%. I think that's the way we've gone into this as a YMCA organization. Is we've had to learn, we've had to read a lot, and we've had to lean on a lot of people and get their support and their advice on what we should do locally, state level, and national. And I think when we all can work together on trying to provide a safe environment and really just be adaptable. I saw Chris post. I agree 100% too. I'm blessed to have a great team around me that's adaptable and have the right attitudes, because We can complain all we want, but unfortunately the virus is around and it's contagious, and we have to do everything possible to provide a safe environment and be transparent with our consumers and our staff, and making sure that they understand how important it is that we all work together on providing a safe environment. Following this pledge, I think, is key to making sure we keep our community and the trends down, so we can continue to build our businesses back up. And that's key for all of us to be successful. So thank you all for letting me be a part of this. And if I can ever do anything, please don't hesitate. I'm learning every day myself. So.
Thank you, Jeff and Jonathan. And I want to give a small little plug too. We are staying safe window signs as well. So as Jonathan mentioned, take advantage of these free programs. Their pledge is super important. These staying safe things, also another good thing to add to your windows. And I'll put the link to that in the chat box as well. And Jonathan, if you want to put a link to the BBB website in the chat too, that would be helpful. If you have it, sorry to put you on the spot.
No.
But otherwise, this is being recorded, as we said before. So I will be sending this out in the next week or so, next week. And feel free to share this with anybody that you think would benefit from this information. Thanks again, Jonathan and Jeff, and we really appreciate it, and hope that everybody has a good holiday weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay safe out there. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Bye.